I welcome the members of the public and the media to the council meeting and remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed. I would ask for everyone to please turn on your phones onto silent mode. Please be aware that the hearing loop is available in the council chamber. Staff are able to assist you with this at any time during the meeting. Please remain quiet in the audience so everyone can hear the meeting. Anyone disrupting the meeting may be asked to leave. Tonight you see that we have one report in open council and one report in closed council. Please stand as I read the prayer. Gracious God, we ask that you give your blessings to the council, guiding us to make the decisions that you truly are the well-being of the people of the city of Casey. Please remain standing as I read the faith statement. The Casey Multi-Faith Network exists to promote peace, harmony and understanding, and to do this in partnership with the city of Casey and the wider Casey community. We aim to spread the knowledge and clarity that we, from different religions and worldviews, beliefs, teachings and practices. We believe that all members of religion and faiths have the right to peaceful practice and celebrate their own religion in a shared attitude of friendly coexistence and cooperation with all others. Please be seated. The City of Casey acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land and pays respects to elders past, present and future. Councillors, are there any apologies? I have two from Councillor Stapleton and Councillor Gillich. Yep. Is there a mover and seconder to accept the apologies from Councillor Gillich and Councillor Stapleton? Councillor Cristani to move, seconded by Councillor Jackson. Declarations of conflicts of interest. Declarations of a conflict of interest pursuant to Section 79 to 79B in the Local Government Act 1989. Does any councillor have any conflict of interest or personal interest they may wish to declare? Interest must also be declared immediately before the consideration of the item. No. The special council meeting today was called to provide the community assurance in the integrity of decision making for planning related matters whilst the IBAC investigation is underway. The special committee that is being proposed today does not undermine the decision making of council, the role of councillors in representing their constituents, nor the rights of residents and with regard to planning matters. Council already delegates the vast majority of its planning decisions on a day-to-day basis to officers. The Section 86 committee that is proposed will deal with those matters that are currently considered by the whole council. 2 independent members to sit alongside a nominated councillor would be appointed by the end of January. This measure would be in place until the IBAC hearing and investigation are concluded. This will ensure the City of Casey is providing proper governance of planning decisions, a standard that is a majority of Casey councillors has been committed to in ensuring going forward. It would be noted that the right of both applicants and objector to make submissions to council or to take matters to VCAT remain protected. I thank councillors, staff and the community for understanding of the need of these measures, which will apply to a small proportion of planning applications which can be delegated under the Section 86 of the Local Government Act as a planning authority and responsible authority under the Planning Environment Act. Are there any agenda items councillors wish to withdraw for discussion? Councillor Rowe? 4.1, thank you. Is there a mover and no, we have no other. Yeah, since there are no other reports. Being that the only item was withdrawn, Councillor Rowe, would you like to introduce? And a seconder. Would like to move that in your name and seconded by Councillor Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This item has come about by Council's desire to ensure...
You need to nominate a councillor. You need to nominate a councillor.
Councillor Flannery.
Councillor Flannery, thank you. Yep.
This item has come about because partly a suggestion on my part on December the 3rd when we had our first council meeting. It was to ensure that all planning matters could continue to be considered in a timely manner and to meet our 45-day targets without interruption. The Planning Committee will be in existence until such time as Council votes to revoke their charter. The purpose of the Planning Committee, or the makeup of the Planning Committee, having one councillor, and I've nominated Councillor Flannery, and 2 independent planning experts who will receive the reports that we currently receive from council officers and consider those applications as they arise. In relation to the number of items, 96+% of all our applications are handled under delegation today. And where there's delegation, there is also the right to apply to or to lodge an appeal to the VCAT. So none of those rights are removed in any way whatsoever. By appointing a councillor and Councillor Flannery to that committee, we ensure that there is still a council voice that residents can go to and approach Councillor Flannery. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that, Rex. You're going to get lots of phone calls. But Councillor Flannery will represent the community's interests to that panel, and
Please remain quiet so everyone can hear you in the gallery. Thank you.
and ensure that all planning applications are processed in the quickest possible way. I will not talk much longer on this. In fact, I'll pass it over to anybody who wants to have a speak.
Thank you. Is there any dissent? There is dissent. So, Councillor Jackson, would you like to speak to your seconding, because you're a seconder?
Madam Mayor, I will reserve my right at this stage.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Crestani, would you like to speak to your dissent?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Thank you. Madam Mayor, I dissent to this motion. I have always expressed the need to respond to current concerns and suggested avenues to achieve this without removing all planning decision rights. I just want to stipulate some of my under the Local Government Act, councillors have the right to undertake their role as declared in the office. That's in Part 4, Division 1 of the Act. Part 4, Section 65 of the Act, the council role is to participate in decision-making of council and to represent the local community in that decision-making. This motion prevents me and all councillors from one of the most crucial aspects of our role in decision-making, and that is representing our community with planning decisions. Our declared oath to undertake that role as council.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
point of
Councillor
order.
Jackson.
Thank you. Error of
Your
fact,
point of
Madam
order.
Mayor.
Yeah.
Councillor Crestani said it stops all councillors doing that. As we know, should the motion succeed, the motion in fact places Councillor Flannery on that panel and committee, so that statement is completely wrong. But secondly, it doesn't remove the right for residents to advocate to Councillor Flannery.
And to their local councillors.
And to the local councillors. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I'll be ruling in Councillor Jackson's favour, so could you
Thank you.
please withdraw that, Councillor Crestani?
I'll move forward. We resolved on the 17th of December to discuss this on the 21st of January, and in the meantime something changed. I do want a peaceful united front with the organisation to ensure both administration and council move together with an effective solution, considering ways to handle public perceptions and prepare for any state government response, if any, particularly when no planning decisions are required to be made before the 21st of January. My suggestion will be to leave this until the 21st of January, like we told the public we would do before Christmas, and give more time and thought into our plan of action. I'm asking you not to take away my elected rights, as I've already tried.
Councillor Crestani,
Okay.
I ask you to withdraw that because that's incorrect.
I won't be able to
Councillor
vote, Madam Mayor.
Crestani, please withdraw your statement.
The
that is
community,
taking-
those who elected
Councillor
us.
Crestani, I'm going to ask you to please withdraw that statement.
No,
Councillor
it is
Crestani,
true.
this is important that you understand that this is not taking away your rights. This is allowed under
But
the
I
local
won't be able to
government.
vote, Madam Mayor.
This
I
is
won't be
this is
able to
under the
vote.
Local Government Act, Councillor Crestani.
4% of planning applications, that community need their voice represented historically and for the future. Although I do get what Councillor Jackson said about we have Councillor Flannery, but he he will be representing one councillor's view, and he'll only have minority
Councillor
voice.
Cristani, this is this
They're our elected
delegation.
people right there.
Councillor
okay?
Cristani, this is
They're those who elected us. We have a responsibility to them. They should have a voice. Anyway, I've said my dissent.
thank you, Councillor Cristani. Councillor Jackson, would you like to speak? Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I rise to support Councillor Rowe and what seems to be the majority of councillors here as well. Madam Mayor, I want to touch on some points that have been raised that I've seen recently. And firstly, happy New Year's Eve to all those in the gallery and all the staff that are here. Madam Mayor, this is public office. Public office does not take a holiday. It'd be nice in public office to be able to take a holiday. But public office does not take a holiday. Our emails do not stop. Our phones do not stop. We do not answer phone calls. We do not answer emails. It is a working day for council, for many staff here, and for ourselves as well. Madam Mayor, the reason to bring the planning decision ahead is to ensure, in my view, that no planning decisions are at risk of not being made. I think what we can say is that by finalising the scope today, and this is my view, Madam Mayor, it ensures the people that we're asking to join that committee understand the scope of which they're applying for. As you understand, at the last meeting we didn't finalise the scope but sought expressions of interest. And if I was a member applying to the panel, I would want to know what the scope was finalised before I applied to such a group. So I think it's important by making the decision today gives ample time for those individual members of the community that have planning expertise to make the decision of whether they wish to apply for it, so they can understand what the scope is. Because without understanding the scope, Madam Mayor, it's quite difficult, if I was one of those people, to try and do it. This, as Councillor Rowe said, this doesn't stop the community's right to advocate. It's an allowable delegation power under the Local Government Act of Section 86, of which we're allowed to do. It places a councillor still on the panel. The community is well entitled to advocate to Councillor Flannery. I'm sure Councillor Flannery's phone will run hot, but I also know Councillor Flannery is probably one of the councillors that is out and about a lot. He's out and about a lot. And he's always willing to listen and
Point of order.
always
Councillor
willing to-
Cristani, what is your point of order?
Irrelevant.
Relevant. All right, Councillor Cristani, I'll be.
I'll
ruling that in
continue, Madam Mayor,
Councillor
but let me make the relevance. The
Yeah.
relevance it is that Councillor Flannery is out there listening and listening to the concerns, and that's why it is relevant. Madam Mayor, I put this to the chamber with the support of my colleagues. It's the right thing to do.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. I'll be ruling in favour of Councillor Jackson. Thank you very much. So then, because there is dissent, this must go to a vote. So Councillor Rowe, did you want to sum up, or? Thank you.
Madam Mayor, only to say that Councillor has summarised everything that we discussed, everything that we hope to achieve, and that is to keep the council running smoothly. And that's
Please be quiet in the gallery. You'll be asked to leave.
and it's interesting. Probably some of the people that are complaining the loudest are probably the people that don't lodge complaints against Christian schools and churches, but lodge them against mosques and Sikh temples. So.
Please be quiet, or you'll be asked to leave in the gallery.
Madam Mayor,
Councillor Cristani, what is your point of order?
Error of fact, irrelevant.
What is your,
Throw the
what
book
is,
at you.
but what is it? What is your point of order?
He's stating things that are not relevant to this right now. Thank you.
Councillor Cristani, I will be ruling in Councillor Rowe's favour, because he is talking about what the objectives. Oh, is that right, Councillor Cristani? I think you really need to understand that Councillor Rowe is just explaining what are some of the possibilities. Thank you very much. Thank you. Councillor Rowe.
thank you, Madam Mayor. That the purpose of getting the planning applications through quickly,
Yep.
is so that there will be no backlog for the development of Casey, that they will be passed in a systematic way, and by having Councillor Flannery on this committee, it's different from all the other 96% because they've not ever had to have a councillor on the panel previously. So we're putting an extra council check and balance in there. So thanks to Councillor Jackson, and let's put it to the vote.
Thank you. Since that is closed up, I would like to put that to a vote. So, councillors who, no, councillors, will put this to a vote. So in favour of the vote, please raise your hands. Dissent? Division is being called. So all in favour of the item, please stand. Councillor Rowe, Councillor Smith, Councillor Rosario, Councillor Saray, Councillor Jackson, Councillor Flannery, all in dissent. Councillor Cristani. That motion is carried. Can I please have a mover and seconder to the council resolve itself into closed council and resume after 2 minutes? Councillor Rowe to move and Councillor Rosario to second. Any dissent? That is carried. Thank you.